Ah, there you are. Hello, darlings, and a very warm welcome to Thursday Night Live with me, Boaty. And I'm coming to you from here in the Peak District National Park, live and excited. And I'm going to be coming in any orifice I damn well please over the next 59 minutes before I let you all go in peace and leave you alone for 2 days before inflicting myself upon you once more to see out 2023 on Sunday night, New Year's Eve. Oh, yes. Who's here? Jimmy Quinn says good evening, Boaty and all, and a jolly good evening to you, Jimmy. Barry, that guy from SETI Alpha 5 who's got a rather lovely car. Good evening. Happy New Year to all. Well, why not? Let's start early. Evening all, says Trace, the Greenwood, who's right here in our midst with all of her busty substances. And I don't know, I haven't got any inside information on this specifically, but it's a fair bet that she is Starkers. So, I mean, imagine that or try not to, as you see. I mean, I'll leave that up to you. It's not for me to tell you. Joe is here. Cars with JC. Good evening, Chat and Jason. Hope we're all well and had a great day. I had a lovely day, Joe, and you helped. Yeah, says Captain Mustard of Project Nigel. And I had a lovely long phone chat with my dear friend, my bestest friend in the whole wide world, Captain Mustard, today. And it was one of those really good chats between friends where, you know, I mean, it's nice to catch up and have a bit of a laugh, but also just to be there when somebody needs you, you know? And sometimes you have those sort of chats that just reinforce how deep your friendship is when stuff is shared. And well, he won't mind my saying because he always says that he feels amongst friends on the community live streams that he's a little bit worried about what happened the other morning and a little bit embarrassed, I suppose. You know, we all would be, but you know, it's kind of an illness at the end of the day, isn't it? And none of us should be embarrassed about illness, but he's worried that it's the first step to an ongoing thing, that type of thing. I mean, he did share that since then he's had a couple of, how can we call them, near misses, where oh, how can I put it without being offensive? Well, let's just say that farts are not supposed to be lumpy. And we spoke about it quite candidly, and you know, I'm no doctor certainly, but you know, I suggested looking at diet might possibly be an option. I mean, obviously, thanks to the work that I've done in the past, I can give some information on Inco pads as they're known, which you know, which can be. So it was a nice chat. I felt very warm after it. Where did I get to? Oh, Cheeseburger, General Cheeseburger, the ultimate grandmaster of absolute shithousery. Says, evening all, I've had a roller coaster of a day. My phone is pinging, and it's the old WhatsApp community who appear to be double teaming me. They're talking on there and they're talking on here. I mean, as they all say, the benefit of the WhatsApp thing is I'm not there wittering at them. Pingu Concord is with us and says, good afternoon. It's good to be here, says Mustard, and it's good to have you, mate. Oh dear. What a year, says Cheeseburger. Should say, what a C word. Skick says, hi, mustard. Decent live today. So, not remarkable, not standout, not particularly memorable, but also not too bad either. Decent, decent. The way that beans on toast is a decent stomach filler, but not quite as exciting as an Istanbul kebab. So, I mean, that's Skick's opinion, not mine. I watched the first part of that live and I thought it was utterly fantastic. In terms of content, the way that it just carried you along with it, well, as Cheeseburger says, it was a bit of a roller coaster of emotions as well. I mean, I would say it's up there with the top live streams that I have ever seen. And I only saw the first 10 or 15 minutes because, well, I was really hoping to watch the rest of it actually, but sadly I didn't want to. But so, I mean, it started so well. I can only imagine how good the rest of it was. And I'm sure all of you lucky people enjoyed it very much, as I would have if I hadn't sadly had to wrench myself away from it. I did the live stream equivalent of falling off that Liverpudlian bird in the hotel. I just, I was I was aiming for my trademark side shuffle and ram on Mustard Live, and I missed and fell off the bed, and I missed the rest of the live. But anyway, these things happen. Anyway, the point was, it was a decent live as far as Skick is concerned. And Joe says, "Oh, my card arrived. It did, Joe, and I want to show it to everybody." Look at that! What a year! And then Boaty's World down at the bottom there. And then that's a picture of us at the top of the Horseshoe Pass. That was the day we did the Snake Pass in the MGF and the MGTF. And that's us at Glossop, having gone one way of this Snake Pass. And then there's a lovely big picture of Minchbag broken down with the AA truck. Which did make me giggle. And then the message inside, and I'm sorry if this embarrasses you, Joe, but I'm going to read it out anyway because it's lovely. Happy 2024, Jason. Best wishes for the new year, mate. May it be joyful, prosperous, and full of love. A big well done for what you've achieved with the channel in 2023 and building such a tight and friendly community, which helps people in so many ways. You're a top bloke, Jason. Never change. And thank you again for all of the amazing content you create daily. Joe, Cars with JC. Isn't that fabulous? I don't mind admitting that as well as a big smile coming on my face, a little tear rolled down my trouser leg when I received this today. Because I've been poor for a few years, to be perfectly honest, whenever the postman comes, I tend to panic because I think, Christ, what is it now? A bill, a court summons? If you've never been poor, you probably won't know what I'm saying. But one of the times that you're living in a little bit of poverty is when you dread the postman, and I mean dread. I mean, you might not like the sight of a brown envelope that could be a tax reminder or a bill or something, but that's not liking it. That's not dreading it. The dread comes when you know you can't pay whatever it's going to be. So when you get something like this, it is nothing less than a sheer joy. So Joe, thank you very, very much indeed, mate. I really, really appreciate that. And that will go in pride of place on the fireplace and won't get thrown away. I will keep that in my box of Boaty memories. Isn't that lovely? things like that. And you know, the other card that I had, and well, cards, because of course I had an early one of Neil and Sophie, and a lovely gift. They mean so much, and as do all of the kind comments and messages and abuse that I get in the live streams. I can't tell you how much it means. And I really am grateful to all of you, and Joe, especially you. That lot of thought and effort went into that, a little bit of expense as well, to be fair. And bless you, mate. Means the world. Thank you very much. Talking of Neil, here he is. Neil, aka the Gibbinator, aka the very nice man. Oh, he's a very nice man. He's a very nice man. He's a very, very nice man. And he's a nice man who gives a good hug. And oh, that's nice. I've earned that again tonight. Tonight was I think I told you yesterday that I was expecting tonight to be quiet because we were unexpectedly busy on Boxing Night. So I expected yesterday to be quiet, and yesterday was mad. So I expected nothing now tonight, Friday, Saturday, and then I expected to be mad on New Year's Eve. We had only a handful of bookings in the restaurant, like 8 people, something like that. Guess how many people we had in? 86. 86 covers we've done in that restaurant tonight, plus takeaways. Absolutely ridiculous and totally unexpected. So, I mean, just all hell let loose. All hell let loose. And it was just one of those heads down night and get on with it and try and get through it. And you kind of and we had some big tables come in. I did a proper thing. You know, I thought I was just going to be, you know, waltzing a little around front of house, maybe doing the odd delivery and whatnot. And suddenly a big party walked in, and Ram looked up at we've got cameras everywhere. We're all CCTV'd up. So in the kitchen, we can see what's happening front of house. Well, we can see what's happening everywhere. And Ram, and we'd already had a viewing. And Ram just looked up at the camera and then looked at me with big wide eyes. And I just literally just tore my jacket off, rolled my shirt sleeves up, jumped onto the pass. Well, not onto it, but, you know, presented myself to the pass and said, come on, let's do this. And oh my God. Oh God, what a night. What a night. And I'm ashamed to say that I left them to it. We got the last table served at about 9:30. That was a table of, I think it was 13, and we got their mains out at 9:30, and at about 10:15, I buggered off and left them to it. I mean, it's only the clean down and whatnot, but I always feel guilty when I do that. Oh, hang on. Here's one that I need to read out. I don't mind anybody pinging me during the lives, by the way. So don't worry about that. Feel free. And it is from our John. Oh, bless him. Hi, Jason. I don't get emotional very often, but without you in the community, that's you guys, I don't think I would have got through all the bad shit I've had this year, especially my health. I cannot thank you and the kind community enough. And now I'm having a little cry, Jason. John. Oh, I mean, oh, bless you, John. You know that, you know that we're all with you. And I was thinking about that. I was thinking about this actually, and I'm so proud of you guys because you've done exactly what I was hoping would happen. You know, there's been the odd little hiccup along the way, but exactly what I was hoping for is exactly what you lot have made happen. We've built and we're continuing to build on this amazing little community of random people who've just um, come together around a few YouTube channels and made it into something really meaningful. And I'm just, I probably can't say it too often. I'm so grateful just to be a part of it. And, you know, I think it's wonderful that you lot are making a difference for people. I think it's absolutely, I think it's bloody heartwarming, to be honest. And I mean, I know that YouTube is a job for many people, well, some people, many people. I know that it's a business. I know that it's a means to an end, but I think it's really heartwarming to see this aspect to it as well. And it genuinely, the fact that we've got this community thing that we've got off the ground and got going and it's actually doing some good, that means more to me than getting 1 million views on a video or earning 1,000 quid off a video. And I genuinely mean that. I wouldn't swap it. That's nothing against the guys who do run YouTube as a business. It's just a personal thing. I would rather have this every single time. So bless you, John. You know, we're all here with you, mate, and the same goes to everybody else who's. Well, I can't start doing an end of year thing, can I? But you know, the same thing applies to everybody who's been part of the whole doings over this year, and you know, whenever it was I started doing this crazy thing. So cheers to you, John, and cheers to you all, everybody that I've met or have spent time with virtually, or that I hope to meet in the future. Speaking of which, I would like to do something for my. Well, I'll do something for my birthday. Bugger up somewhere. So if anybody fancies meeting up on for lunch on Sunday the 14th, or dinner or drinks on Monday the 15th, I am footloose and fancy free. I have got a Rover Metro and I'm not afraid to use it. I can travel. I'm mobile. I'm like that hairdresser in the royal family. What was her name? Susie Scissors. She never appeared. She was only mentioned. Anybody else love the royal family? Where did I get to? Bad Books is here. Good evening, all. Baddy Scrotter also here. Good evening, all. Nice to be receiving you, Mr. Mustard, says Cheeseburger. And I imagine that's a line he picked up off Mrs. Mustard. I can imagine Mrs. Yeah, I can imagine Mrs. Mustard coming out with Is that you, Mrs. Mustard? Yes, Captain. Has the train arrived in Paddington yet, Mrs. Mustard? Yes, it's nice to be receiving you, Mr. Oh dear, Sophie is with us and says, hello all, how is everyone and how has the day been? Well, mine, Sophie, I hope your day has been okay, my lovely. I hope everything's still going okay. My day, well, to be honest, my day's been uneventful. Now, you might have noticed I've paused the daily diaries and I'm going to pause them until the new year. And that's partly because I'm just knackered. Work is mad, and quite frankly, I'm glad of a little break, but also because there's nothing to record and nothing to report. There's been a full-on storm, whatever the name of the storm is, since Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas Eve. Every day I've woken up, I've looked out, and it's been blattering rain and howling wind. So factor in the fact that work has been crazy, so I'm knackered, and the little bit of upheaval around Christmas Eve and Christmas Day that we all know about. I've not been minded to do anything at all other than stay in the cottage, chill out a bit, and that is pretty much it. So the daily diaries, if I'd been doing them, all they would have consisted of would be well, look at the weather. Bloody awful. I'm going to do sod all day. And then a bit of me driving to work, which you've all seen a million times. And then me coming home and saying, good night, my lovelies. Have a safe and peaceful night. And I figured Christmas week, you could probably all do without that, couldn't you? So I thought, well, we'll have a break and we'll pick them back up on New Year's Day. And then go at it with a vengeance. I've got big plans for next year, probably most of which won't come to fruition, but I plan to bloody well enjoy myself and more social stuff, darlings. I want to meet more of you. I'm willing to make the effort. I'm willing to track you down. I mean, I know you're going to lie about where you live and stuff and try to avoid me, but I'm willing to put the effort in, find out where you are, and come and let you buy me a drink. God, the generosity of me is just bewildering, isn't it? How's my wine doing? Oh, somebody has done a. Oh, hello. What's that? Oh, Neil has gifted memberships. Oh, quick, flick the accept membership things. Oh, too late. They're all gone. Right, let's see who's got them. Hang on, I'll just pour some wine. Neil, you legend. That is really, really kind of you, mate. Thank you very much. Bear with me and we'll see who's copped for them. Our new channel members, courtesy of the wonderful Neil. He's a very nice man. Oh, he's a very, very nice man. Gives a good hug and eats a hearty breakfast when given the opportunity. Our new channel members are Honourable Pigeon, Gary Angel. That's a bit of a new name to me. Union Flag. And I'm glad about that because I'm glad they're not named Union Jack, because unless they're on a boat, they would be wrongly named. Kevin Hughes and Name Me -1. Oh, fabulous. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you again, Neil. Oh God, I'm getting well behind on the comments. Oh dear God. Oh, right. I better start reading these comments out before I get told off again for chatting. What was it I was accused of last night? Babbling, talking babble. I've been talking babble to you for best part of 18 months. You'd think you get used to it. Right, here we go. Professional head on. Gosh, 41 of you watching. That's wonderful. Thank you so much, all of you. I'm exceedingly grateful. It makes me feel like I'm one of those popular YouTubers. God knows why you're watching. I imagine it's some sort of community service. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe the magistrates, the beaks, have been handing out watching my live streams as a form of community service for relatively minor crimes like shoplifting or wearing an offensive shirt. Right, let's see. Okay. Right, we said hello to Sophie. Oh, and Sophie says, I love the card voting. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? And thank you and Neil again for your. I've had so much pleasure from that book. I'm reading it again. I think I'm on the third time. It's just my toilet book at the moment. So whenever I finish it, I just go back to the beginning. It's that good that you can read it over and over again. And one of the reasons I'm particularly glad that Lewis Hamilton has become involved in my life, and I don't mean the racing driver, although he would be welcome to come round, and I would give him some momos and congratulate him on his Formula One career. But no, I'm actually talking about the Rover Metro that's out there in the pits at the moment, who is, of course, named Lewis Hamilton because his first owner, or his mother, if you like, was a Mrs. Hamilton of Leicester or Leicester, which of course is in the county of Leicestershire. And Pingu named him, said, got to be called Lewis Hamilton. His mother's Mrs. Hamilton, he's got to be Lewis Hamilton. And I thought, yeah, okay. Now, I was going to call him something different for reasons that I told you, but that wasn't as good, quite honestly. And, I'm big enough to admit when somebody else comes up with a better idea than me. But yeah, the reason I'm glad that Lewis Hamilton is in my life is he is a 95 registered car, which means that he probably came off the line in like 94, very late 94. And the last line of that book, and I'm sorry for the spoiler alert, the book that Neil and Sophie gave me for Christmas is remember, if you ever happen to own or come into contact with a Rover built between 1990 and 1995, I will have laid hands on that car at some point. And I thought, that's lovely. That adds a really personal thing to it. And so I love the fact that the little car sitting out there on my little private thing off the private little lane in my garden, on the way to, but where you know where it is. God Almighty, you've seen it in enough videos. That would have once had a chap's hands on it who wrote a very nice book that's given me a lot of pleasure and who is now in Australia. He moved, he's in Australia down with our friends Ross and Andrew, aka Boaty. Actually, track him down, you Australians, and ask him if he'd like to come on a live or come to lunch. Or just come on alive would be cheaper, probably. 3, 2, 1. And I would like to dedicate that fart to all of our friend, Captain Mustard, who very sadly has been unable to do that for the last few days for fear of the consequences. Please, everybody, thoughts and prayers. Mustard, that one was for you. I did it because you daren't. My heart, my bottom. Oh God, I love Thursdays. Barry Scrotter says, Boaty and Mustard, the secret dose. Do you know what I love? Do you know what I love about the live streams? And I've noticed this. I've noticed that this is a thing, right? Whenever you lot refer to me and Mustard, you all put, and Barry's just done it again, you all put Boaty and Mustard. I've noticed it now over the last week or so. You all give me first billing. You all put Boaty and Mustard. Whereas when me and Mustard do it, it's always Mustard and Boaty. Partly because I think it scans better, and partly because when we started doing stuff together, Mustard was a big star, and I was just the guy hanging off his coattails and annoying people on his videos, which I'm still doing to this day. We were talking about this today, because we didn't talk about his little problem all the time. Of course we didn't. I don't want to make him obsess over it or paranoid about it. We were talking about the fact that he still loses subscribers when I appeared on one of his videos. Oh dear. I'm terribly sorry about that. But yeah, if you look at anything with the two of us, or the playlist, or the Facebook page, or the Facebook group, anything, it's always Mustard and Boaty, Mustard and Boaty. But when you lot talk about us, it's always Boaty and Mustard. I love that. A message held for review. This could be filth. It's from Barry, probably will be filth. Can we please not have scrotums, rusty trombones, or pottering tonight? Well, Barry, you're the other side of the world. You're not going to get any of those either from me or with me. But, you've brought them up. Nobody's mentioned any of those, and you've just bloody brought them up. So, but yeah, absolutely. Tonight, Thursday night, will be a scrotum, rusty trombone, and pottering free zone. Oh, I did talk about scrotums last night, didn't I? Well, I talked about my own scrotum. And let's not talk about that. We've done. Right. Sophie says, what is everyone's plans for the new year? And that's a jolly good question. I'd love to hear them. My own plans. New Year's Eve, I'll be at work. Then I'm going to do a live stream with you guys. New Year's Day, nothing planned for the day itself. But then back to work on New Year's Day night, which will be a Monday. And then on the 2nd, it will be lunch with the good captain and James. I'm really looking forward to meeting James, and I'm looking forward to lunch. And I'm actually looking forward to meeting James with Mustard. That'll be all the more fun. I prefer meeting people with Mustard than meeting people on my own, actually, because you can guarantee it's going to be a fun dynamic. And then after that, for me at least, I mean, do please answer yourself. I'm not answering for you. Back to the daily diaries, getting the cars all sorted out for spring, getting ready to go, planning road trips, planning social meetups. I've got 2 MOTs due, one on the 11th and one on the 12th. And that is, that is Sheeson and Dickadumdum. And I mentioned them both to Mustard in our chat today, and he said, "Oh, right, yeah, take them somewhere else." But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna take them to the yard. But I promise that if they fail, I won't leave them at the yard, Mustard. I promise. Just the MOT. So I think is Monday going to be the 9th or the 8th? Be the 8th, won't it? So so I'll bring one up on the Monday if you would be kind enough to book an MOT slot. But the previous MOT will still be valid. So if it fails, I promise you I'll go back home in it. I won't leave it in the yard. And if you're wondering, somebody did ask this: why do you take your cars to the MOT station by the yard rather than just taking them down the road? And it's quite a simple answer. The MOT station by the yard recognizes me as trade and charges me trade price for the MOT, whereas the lovely guys down at the yard, they'll do some things for mates rates, but the MOT is absolutely full whack and they don't offer a trade price. So basically, the MOT is half the price if I take it to the yard, and that's the reason why I go there. And also because ridiculous as it sounds, it's a nightmare to get to the one down the road. Now, it's only 2 mile down the road, 2 or 3 mile, whatever it is. You've seen it. You've been there with me often enough on videos. But you can't get a bus or anything. It's not worth getting a taxi. And it's a long, steep old hill. And it means I have to walk and I can't be asked. Now, in the old days, Nicky Nunu used to give me a lift. But since Nicky got all partnered up, I feel a bit awkward about asking such things because, quite naturally, since a man moved in next door with Nicky, we don't have quite the same relationship, especially as in the very early days, they did have a little breakup. And we were having a chat about it. We used to be quite close, me and Nicky, and we used to talk about all sorts of stuff. And turns out he's a little bit jealous. Now, and it wasn't an issue with me. I hasten to add, it was something a lot sillier than that. But because I know that, then since the relationship resumed, and then when he subsequently moved in, I've kept my distance just a little bit. He's a lovely guy, lovely enough guy, friendly enough. We talk. Nice chap. He's quite interested in the cars, quite interested in the YouTube channel. So it's lovely. And also, when there's a relationship dynamic going on, it's different than when it's two single people. So they do their own thing, and we're lovely and cheery with each other. But I wouldn't now feel able to just nip next door and say, "Oh, do me a favour, whiz me down to the garage, would you?" Whereas if I just go to the yard as normal on a Monday and take the car in for MOT, then, and obviously the MOT place, you know where it is, right next door to the yard, it's just a lot more convenient. So yeah, that's the reason. And I will take these two to the yard, whatever Mustard says. I will just promise him faithfully that if they fail, I won't leave them there. I'll bring them back home. I'll get the guys down the road to repair them, and then I'll take them back to the yard the following week for the MOT. So please put me in for the MOT on the 8th, Mustard, and don't worry, you won't be stuck with the car in the yard. Oh, bless him. He's good to me. Where did I get to? Oh, yeah, that's it. Working on my car usually brings on a visit to the toilet, says Buddy Scrotter. Boaty, is there any news from Metroland? Asked Pingu. If you mean the gentleman, no news. We're best friends. We'll probably go on holiday together to Malta. But no grief, no problems. It's all good. I've done nothing with the Metro as yet, other than to swap the aerial, as you know. And I had a little sit in it yesterday when it was almost dark to check out what the dash lighting was like and all of that, and run it up to temp and so on. And it's just wonderful. I can't wait for the weather to cease and the new year to kick in, and I can really crack on with it. And as I say, I'm foremost in my mind at the moment as a little birthday treat is to do the old real Travelodge bit again on Monday the 15th of January, and do it in Lewis Hamilton. Take him on a road trip to Rill, and do it the scenic route over the Cat and Fiddle, and then over the Horseshoe Pass, if he can get up them. Bloody hell. Stop for a nice birthday lunch at a Beefeater en route because I've got a £10 voucher that needs to be spent. And then treat myself to a birthday supper from the Laughing Buddha in Rill. And that would be rather nice. And then try and blag a free breakfast, obviously, and do a live stream from the hotel room and annoy you all. I mean, that all goes without saying, doesn't it? Bad Book says, and this is directed at Captain Mustard. And Bad Books, that's Mark, of course, and says, It's very kind of it's very kind of you, Mustard, to see us as close enough friends that you don't mind Boaty chatting about, the things that you and he have discussed. And, I mean, Mustard's one of us. I mean, I like to think that each and every person watching this live stream, imagine that Mustard needed to do a road trip for a collection adventure or something like that, or to deliver a car. And imagine he stayed at any of our homes. I like to think that all of him love him enough so that if he had an unfortunate incident and fouled himself in our home, we wouldn't make a big deal of it in any way, shape, or form. And we would, lend him some clean underpants and put the emergency washing machine on, and it would all just be dealt with very light-heartedly between friends. So yeah, thank you for that, Mark. That's a very nice thing to say. Trey says, "Ha, I'm not quite naked because it's a bit breezy and damp tonight." What is? Oh, the weather. I see. Sorry, I thought you were talking about yourself. I have a stripy vest top on and some lovely big black granny knickers. Good for you. Cheeseburger is upping Mustard's live today from decent to nice. He says Mustard's live was nice today, Skick. A very good evening, Boaty and everyone, says Andrew. I've spotted Boaty. Oh, and Mustard's life has been further uprated by none other than Jimmy Quinn, who says, excellent live stream, Mustard. Excellent. So, there you go. Mark says, Skick, Mustard's live decent as opposed to Boaty's probably indecent. Yes. What do you mean, why are you on the wonk tonight, Boaty? You're not on the wonk. You're not on the wonk. You haven't moved. Since I changed phones in October, and so the iPhone X became the permanent live stream phone, you've not moved. You're mounted on Sonia, the small but perfectly formed foreign tripod, which is not how she doesn't talk to me anymore, by the way, Sonia. The last message that I sent to her was read but not responded to. So we're obviously not the friends that we once were. But the tripod is still named after her, Sonia, because the tripod is small but useful and perfectly formed. And Sonia was too. And that's Sonia with a J rather than a Y, because she is foreign. But you wouldn't know she's bloody foreign. I don't know if any of you watch the Blot Outdoors show. I keep mentioning it. Chris should really give me a shout out. But you know how bloody Geordie he is? Well, Sonia is more Geordie than that, and she's bleeding Polish or something. I've forgotten exactly what she is, but she's foreign anyway. She just happens to live up there, and she's decided to adopt the accent. It's ridiculous. But anyway, she's not talking to me anymore, so there we go. But the tripod is still named in her honour. And you're not on the one, Carlos. You're probably pissed. You didn't say she was Liverpudlian, says Cheeseburger. Oh, yeah, hotel lady. Did she nick your wallet? No. No. Breakfast was awkward. And that's all I'm going to... She was wearing the same tracksuit bottoms at breakfast. For God's sake. Oh, dear. Not my proudest moment. Could at least have put on a fresh pair. Mind you, you should have seen the Liverpudlian family that was staying at the hotel when I was there with Neil and Joe and Sophie. Bloody hell. Neil and I went out for a fag stroke vape in the wee small hours, and oh God, well, Neil will tell you what we had to endure while we were while we were having our little addiction break outside the front door. And then breakfast the next day. Oh, bloody hell. We had the joy of meeting the whole family. As my mother-in-law used to say, the things you see when you haven't got your gun. Dear Lord. Simone is here. Evening, everyone. Good evening, Simone. And cheeseburger, exactly cheeseburger. Carlos, we're not on the wonk. Are you pissed? Exactly. Glad it made your day, mate, says Joe about the card. It really did. Thank you. Sorry I missed your live, Captain, says Pingu. I was undersealing a couple of the fleet and lost track of the time. Mustard says Boaty is a top bloke as well as being a tosser. Oh, well, this is going back to a previous conversation. Mark, Bad Book says, a little tear ran down your trouser leg. Wipe your soft sod. I'm not wiping my little tinkle, and I refuse to accept that it's a thing. Some people said dab, don't wipe. I'm not doing that either. Shake it, wash it, whatever. That's enough. No, I mean, it's just right. A top tosser indeed, says Trace. And Cheeseburger agrees he is a top tosser. There you go. That's obviously my celebrity wrestling name, isn't it? The top tosser. I really want to get this wrestling thing going. I mean, I would genuinely love to do that. If I'm going to achieve fame and fortune, that is how I would like to do it. I mean, who do you think would be up for it? If I actually rented, like a venue and had a wrestling ring or boxing ring put up and actually tried to do it for real, who do you reckon would be up for it? I mean, it would be for a really good charity thing or something like that. And I'd make anybody who said no look like a total tosser. It would be fun. It wouldn't be fighting to the death. And I like the idea of the tag team. But who do you reckon would actually be up for it? Because could you imagine? I mean, that would be the highlight of my life if I could actually make a YouTube motor channel celebrity tag team challenge happen. Imagine that if you actually had the beige bomber. And Kendo Matasaki, the masked cowboy, in full costume. That would be the best night ever. I bet you'd be up for it, Neil. You'd be up for it because you're the one who's going to slaughter everybody. Neil has just pinged me and said, I'd be up for it. Of course you're going to be up for it. You're like in the prime of your life. You're a massive unit. You're a trained massive unit. You're not the one who's got to worry. Of course you'd be up for it. You could break us all into 100 pieces. You're the one who doesn't have to worry. It's the rest of us who would have pause for thought. Actually, right, I'm in charge of it, aren't I? So I can decide. I'm with Neil. I'm with Neil. And as soon as the beige bomber comes in to do his signature flying mattress move or whatever it is, or the bomber splat, I'm tagging Neil and he can. No, you can't tag team with Neil John Stoodley. I've claimed him. You're too slow. Oh God. Okay. Right, for a laugh. Should that be the New Year's resolution for the bogs, for Boaty's old geezers and gals and the Boaty's World community? Should we try and make some sort of tag team wrestling challenge thing actually happen? I mean, it probably won't, but shall we try? And I mean, we've got people to rock up for lunch. Maybe we can get them to rock up for a celebrity wrestling match. We could get Hubby. Oh, God, I so want to do this now. I so want to do this. All of it. And we could do the full ring walks and all of that. Oh God, and do it all for charity. So, oh God, I want this more than anything else now. Oh, okay, John. No, actually, well, John said me and cheeseburger then, but I can't claim Neil if you want him, John, because I'm probably a little bit, probably maybe just a little bit fitter than you. So, okay, you can have Neil. So it's Neil and John. Pick yourself a fighting name, John. Um, I mean, I should really team up with Mustard, shouldn't I? Um, the top tosser and the, well, I mean, some of the names that have been suggested for Mustard have been, oh God, they've been rejected by pornographers for being too obscene. Right. Well, to go back to a previous question, that's my plan for the new year, to actually try and make something like this happen. A celebrity, a celebrity wrestling match in some social club in the West Midlands. We'll get all of the grannies out cheering them on. We'll do loads of advanced publicity. Oh God, imagine if we did the full thing. We had press conferences. Imagine if we had pressers with all the face-offs and everything. It's all fake. Of course it's all fake. But what am I lying about? What am I lying about? He said a bad word to me again. I'm being messaged by my friend calling me a bad word. But imagine if we did the press conferences and everything. So you've seen them. You've seen the boxing presses and UFC and whatnot. So we've got the beige bomber facing John the Gentle Giant. Now you need to be more aggressive than that, John. A gentle giant ain't going to do it. You can't go into the ring and be gentle. You need to be like John the Bedfordshire Bull Buggerer or something like that. Put the fear of God into them with your name. I mean, imagine that face-off between. You're welcome to arm wrestle, Neil Paul. You're very welcome. John the Juggernaut, says Neil. Good shout. Good shout. John the Juggernaut. Yes. Now, you see, that's going to put a bit of fear into somebody, isn't it? Now, who was it who said they were 5'8"? Jim Biscuits, Shoestring Shed. He's 5'8" and Hubnut is 5'8". So there's our first match. Shoestring Shed against Hubnut. And imagine them facing off. I just love this idea. And I've just got in my mind that the beige bomber would be like the Derek Chisora. He would be the one that upset the press conference and just threw the tables everywhere and started. Oh God, you're 6'3" and 18 stone, John. Bloody hell. Well, John and his partner Neil have suddenly become the favourites for this tournament, I think. Oh dear. Oh, God above. Oh, come on, wouldn't it be funny though? Especially if we at least pretended to take it all seriously and did the press conferences and all the advanced marketing and everything, get the proper ring walks done with some music. Oh God, I'd love this. I want this to happen so badly. We'd have to decide in advance who we're going to be. Oh, what were the terms they used? The oh God, in pro wrestling there were the I've forgotten the terms they used for the good guys and the bad guys. Was it no, I can't remember. It'll come back to me. I better catch up with these comments. Oh, and Joe says to Mustard, there should be a card arriving to you as well, mate. Oh, that's sweet. Not a bad day today, says man. I helped a friend with his motorcycle engine. Good for you. An upper class tosser, you might say, old chap, says Pingu. Well, thank you for that. Um, Carla says, cheeseburger, shush. It'll send Boaty crazy for 5 minutes and it will amuse me no end. No pub tonight, giving my poor liver a break. So that's what Carlos was about, trying to make me obsess over the wonkiness. It's not going to work now because you're in a fixed position. It would have worked back in the day. Back in the days of the iPhone 6, that would have sent me crazy for 5 minutes, but it won't work now. And that's why I refuse. I need to buy a new tripod because Sonia is what I used to use for lunches. And I refuse to use her now because that would mean moving her and she's in the perfect position. So I need to buy another one. In fact, I need to buy one quickly before the 2nd of January. I'd better get on Amazon tomorrow. He's a top twat, says Jimmy Quinn. Thank you. There's my wrestling name, Top Twat. Oh, Neil says, I got a card from Joe too. It was a great boost to my day seeing that when I got home. Oh, lovely. Oh, excuse me. Jimmy says, cheeseburger, did you get a card from Joe? Cheeseburger says, Neil, you've given Joe your address, you crazy boy. He stayed with him. He's been there twice. He knows the address. Joe is a safe pair of hands. He's not the type of chap to come shouting through your letterbox at 4:30 a.m. on Christmas morning. I mean, there were a couple of little issues with Michael Jackson, as you have to expect with older cars. And did he go round to Senior Mustards at 4:30 in the morning, shouting the odd through the letterbox? No, he did not. He dealt with it like an enthusiast and a grown-up. Oh, right. Joe says, send me your address, General Cheeseburger, and I'll send you one. I'm annoyed, actually, that I didn't do a Secret Santa. We should have done some sort of Secret Santa where you could, if you wanted to, send your addresses in to like a central thing, and we could have sent each other silly gifts and had a laugh unwrapping them. Never mind, we'll do that next year. Much love is going to John from pretty much everybody. Oh, these are lovely. Absolutely gorgeous comments. I love this community we have. It's fantastic, says Joe. This is a good side of YouTube, says Cheeseburger. Loads and loads of love for John. Lunch on the 15th, says Cheeseburger. Are you setting off on the 10th? It's not the quickest car on God's earth. It's not the quickest car on God's earth, but I absolutely love it, and I know you will. You will do too. I mean, let's open it up to the community. What should I do? What should I do with, or what should we do? Me, Mustard. What should we do with Lewis Hamilton? We know everybody said he needs the wheel trims changed, and I'll be on that. I've already done the aerial. That's a big improvement. Everything inside is as it should be. There's nothing really to do there. He needs, I think he needs the 5 cassette tapes to dress the cassette holder. Should he have anything else as a kind of period inside accessory? Like, does he need a tartan picnic rug or something like that? Any ideas you've got, or ideas of where he should go, where I should take him, or ideas of what I should do on Sunday lunch for my birthday or Monday night, do shout them out. Don't forget to like, says Jimmy Quinn. I can't join you, says Simone. Sorry, a bit too far away. I did think about coming down to Devon, Simone. I did actually mention it. And it's something that, he needs a cigar lighter if it can be done. I thought about that, John. That was a message from John. I thought about that. I'm sure it would be easy enough to get a replacement panel with the cigar lighter and just take a 12-watt feed. But I don't know if I should do that because that would make him unoriginal. And he came from the factory without a cigarette lighter. So I kind of think that he should stay like that. And in terms of powering cameras or phones or whatnot during a road trip, I would just use the Top Done JS 1200. Oh dear. Let's get some business done on Monday, says Mustard. Absolutely. Royal Family with top comedy. You do deserve some time off. Well deserved. Oh, it's Storm Gerrit, apparently. Or Gerrit. Gerrit. All quiet on New Year's Day. Then we get to the gifted memberships. How about a Boaty story time on non-active days, says Pingu. Tales from your past before you get too old to remember. That's not a bad idea, actually. I kind of enjoy doing that. And the one thing that I haven't told you yet, and there's so much to tell you, I haven't told you any of the stories of the car dealership days. Me and Richard and Morris and Goat and Trout and Sergeant Trend and oh God, all of the others, Wainwright and there's so many tales about that to tell you, and I've not even started. So that's actually a good chat, Pingo. Do some tales from the car dealing days, because oh God, there are some crackers, and maybe you'd be interested in some of the inside insights from and we were a big dealership and auction house. Cheeseburger will tell you it was a big deal back in the day, and I've got some cracking stories. And I think the statute is probably up, so I can't be arrested for them. Could the 5 new members talk to us? Asked Cheeseburger. Well, yeah. I mean, it would be nice if we heard from we've heard from the Honourable Pigeon. We've heard from Namey 9-1. The other 3 are indeed a bit of a mystery, so it'd be lovely to get to know them a little bit more. Now they are part of the inner scrotum. What a legend Neil is, says Joe, and I totally agree. And Andrew says, I received a membership to Project Nigel earlier on. Didn't see who it was, but a big thank you to them. You do try, Neil. Neil, you're wonderful. You're a blessed puppet of a human being. Oh, yeah, fair enough, John. Yeah, fair enough. No problem with that. Neil is absolutely lovely. You've all encountered him on video. And he's even lovelier in real life. Barry Scrotter says, Neil, could you recommend anyone who repairs diesel pumps to me? Liz is here. Jabberwocky 220 GTI. Greetings, Boaty and everyone. Hope you've all had a good day. So sorry. It's gone midnight. It doesn't count. That's the law. And it is the last live stream until Sunday. I've really enjoyed this one. It's been such good fun. Oh, God. And don't let me forget. I mean, let's try and make this a real thing. The YouTube celebrity tag team wrestling challenge. Should it be wrestling or boxing? Wrestling. Because, boxing actually involves hitting people. We don't want anybody getting hurt. Whereas wrestling, we can fake that. Or it might be real. Maybe Matt and Ian really do hate each other and they'd love to get it on in the wrestling ring. Oh dear. Good evening, lovely Liz. Hope you are well. Hello, Liz. Good evening, Liz. Uh, No, I'm bloody not, Neil. I'm not arm wrestling you. You tear the bastard thing off. It was bad enough doing Mustard. No, Mustard has challenged you to an arm wrestle, Neil. Not me. Definitely not me. I've been hugged by you. I was lucky to survive that. When I was 30 years younger, maybe, but now, not. You'd rip it out of the socket for God's sake, you big lump. God, have you seen Neil's arms? They're bigger than my legs. But him and Mustard, I'd like to see that. Let's make that into a thing. Right. Right. Don't you worry about reminding him, Neil. I'm going to remind him because I'm going to set it up now. As part of the build up to the Pro Celebrity YouTube Tag Team Wrestling Challenge thing, we're going to introduce two of the main protagonists, Neil, the very nice man Gibbonator, and the Harry Paddington, or whatever we end up calling him. Oh God, what was that? Oh, I don't know, the Love Sausage, or God, we'll come up with the proper names. So when you come up to the yard to very kindly help me out, finally getting Brian back on the road now, we will film. We'll do a special video of the arm wrestling challenge between two of the protagonists for the tag team thing, and we'll make a really big deal of it. Oh, the Harry Podgerington. That's and we'll make a really big deal of it, and that'll really help build up the atmosphere. Oh, and when we do the video, right, we've got to do the full thing. You've got to call people out. So you've got to say, yo, beige bomber, I'm not scared of you. I'm going to fuck you up. Let's do it properly. Let's do it exactly. Because let's face it, boxing it's become such a bloody, boxing is like now, it's like the ITV wrestling back in the world of sports days, isn't it? It's all call outs and bullshit and fake shit. I mean, at least the boxing is real when they get in the ring, but there is a lot of razzmatazz about it. So let's do all of that. Oh God, I'd love to have that on video. Mustard and Neil calling out the beige bomber and Kendo Matasaki, the masked cowboy. I'll rip your mask off. You boring twat. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Cheeseburger, I'm not reading that out. Liz says we should all go to Boaty's restaurant for his birthday. Oh God, that would be lovely. It's kind of short notice, but if anybody would be up for that, then yeah, absolutely. I'll make sure I've got a driver in, and we'll have a little get together at the restaurant. And then I'll take Lewis Hamilton to the seaside the day after. Bloody hell, just felt that in Leeds, said Richard Mann. Thank you for the membership gift, Neil, says Kevin Hughes. So there you go, Cheeseburger. Speaking out. Okay, in his defense, I must read this out from Mustard. It was a hidden message, so you might not have seen it. And he would just like to say, my farts are just as tuneful as ever, you daft, lanky gwonk, just a little more lumpy on the odd occasion. I'm sure that'll pass. I'm sure it's just a passing phase. Maybe you've got some kind of stomach flu, and you know things are not quite as tight in that area as they normally are. I'm sure it'll pass. You know, maybe up the egg consumption a bit. You never had these problems, did you? when you were eating 12 boiled eggs per day. It's only since you started eating Istanbul curry 2 or 3 times a day. I'm sure you have it for breakfast. I'm glad you really like the book, Sophie. Sophie, I love it. And seriously, I'll do a proper feature on it because you should. If any of you are Rover fans, or even if you're not, it's well worth reading. It's not in a literary sense, it's not particularly well written. Well, it's not well written at all, and it's not worthwhile in terms of factual references to rovers and whatnot. What it is a very honestly written, and it's written accurately in the correct language of what things were like working at Rover between 1990 and 1995. And it's lovely and it's heartwarming and it's hilarious. And you could do a lot worse than have that as your bathroom book. Trust me. I'm quite discerning when it comes to reading. I'm voracious, but I'm discerning in anything that I'll read for a second time. For example, I read Harry Potter in one night. I would never read it again. Whereas this book, I'm happy to. And it's a book that can be, if you're not like me, if you're not a massive reader, you can read it in small chunks and it will still make sense. You can read one chapter at a time and they're like little separate short stories. So I can't remember the title or the author at the moment, but I will give it a shout out. And those of you in Australia, get in touch with the author and tell him that back where he's from, we're all rocking his work. It's nice to have such great people in a great community, and it makes me emotional. Chat, says John. Cheeseburger says, John, wait until you're better and we'll rip the shit out of you then. Oh, too right, we will. A crafty collection tomorrow, says Pingu. HJ will be absconding from his retirement home. Ah. They will sail through the MOT, says Joe. I don't expect any issues with them, to be honest. So I certainly expect Dick Dum Dum to sail through. Sheeson, I've driven him over the last month, and there are a lot of potholes about. So I'm glad, John. The lies really do cheer me up and make me laugh. I'm really glad, John. That's brilliant, and thank you for all of your support, mate. That cheers me up and makes me happy. So it's a two-way thing. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm a little worried about some of the potholes, but there's nothing obvious with Sheeson. He's had a new exhaust. They've had a new exhaust. I keep forgetting he's non-binary. So tricky. But yeah, I'll be quite confident about them. Gosh, look at the time. I need to plow through these and let you go. Start saying your good nights, my darling. I thought 2023 would be difficult, says Cheeseburger, and it was. Plenty of hope that 2024 will be better. Oh, well, that's good. Good news on a project I'm working on tonight. Well, let's hope it's a brilliant year for all of us. The previous MOT will not be valid if it fails, says Carlos. That's not how it works, Boaty. I'm pretty sure you're wrong on that, Carlos. As long as the new MOT doesn't bring up anything that makes the vehicle dangerous to be on the road, the MOT is still valid. I'm pretty sure I'm correct in that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if the car goes in for MOT early and it just fails, but without any dangerous defects, you're still okay to drive it, I'm sure. Video title, Give the Dog a Bone. Oh God, I forgot about video titles. Oh, and then Carlos says, correction. If it fails with a dangerous finding, I believe you can't drive. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. MOT can be done up to a month before without losing any time. Much more convenient than leaving it to the last minute, says Mark. Quite correct. How's Wet Leg coping with town life, says Pingu. Wet Leg is just chilling out in the restaurant yard where she's protected from the elements. Not undercover exactly, but surrounded by high walls which protect her a lot. And my plan is to... Oh no, it won't be. I was going to say I'll swap her over with another one at some point soon. I don't want to sit there for more than a week, so I'll swap her over with Minge Bag or something. I missed. Has Michael Jackson met Lewis Hamilton yet? Asked Simone. No, not yet, but hopefully that will happen. Oh, and Joe confirms that. I missed Mustard's live. I was busy, says Simone. Mustard says, if one of the Fs hasn't sold by summer, could I use one for a while? Of course. Yeah, I said in the chat earlier, that's how it's going to work now. So, yeah, of course you can. Not a problem. One of them, both of them, swap and choose. That seriously, I was serious. Sorry, this is a bit of a personal thing. Although I don't mind you guys knowing, but yeah, I absolutely meant what I said. So obviously that is an option. You need to think of and treat mine exactly the way we treat the rest of them. So you can take any of them at any time and do as you wish, mate. That's the idea. The next step is I need to get my trade insurance sorted. Because I've got an insurance coming up. I don't want to renew it. I want to get the trade bit sorted. So let's see if we can do a joint thing. And if not, I need to sort some money out so that I can get mine up and running. Same tracky bottom, says Cheeseburger. This is going back a while. Could you see the wet patch? Well, obviously not, because I've taken them off. There was no wet patch. There was on the sheet. Too much information. Neil says she paid $8.99 for the pajamas and had £8.50 worth of them shoved up her ass. It was like that. Honestly, you had to be there. Neil and I outside the front door of the Travelodge at 1 a.m. or whatever it was. And a younger member of this family that we met at breakfast diligently feeding about 40 pounds into the vending machine in the lobby to get crisps and chocolate. Oh dear. Oh, let's get through these. Thank you, Jimmy. Neil is a very nice man, I agree. Simone is definitely not up for a celebrity wrestling match. But Tracer said that Mustard will be up for it, so that's good. I'm not reading that one out. I'm not reading that out. I reckon when the beige bomber takes his cufflinks out, he'll be unstoppable. I reckon the beige bomber is my bet to win the whole thing. Oh, okay. So Barry says, I suppose I'm the ginger ninja then. That's what I went by dealing Kung Fu. I'm not reading that one out, Cheeseburger. Oh, Pingu, good shout. Sumo wrestling style would be easier for anyone to join in. That is a brilliant shout. Brilliant shout. I love sumo. I've told you before, I had a whole business named Sumo Supplies, named in honor of sumo wrestlers. Janafuji was my hero. Boaty the Bullbugger, I had that name, Cheeseburger. Because I'm an Archers fan, I once took the fighting name for a different thing. Big Boaty, the Borsetshire bull buggerer. And that was my actual name. I have used that before. Mustard says, your wrestling name should be the ultimate cunt. I'm super happy with MJ, says Joe. Paul and Senior Mustard sold me an excellent car. They are top blokes. Lewis Hamilton says Cheeseburger, keep him off the salty roads. Fluffy dice hanging from the middle would be a nice touch, says Joe, and then follows it up with joke. Roadmap and tartan rug on the parcel shelf, says Pingu. Totally. Cassette suggestion from Simone, Adam and the Ants, Prince Charming. Oh, and a flask, yeah. And a box of Twiglets on the dash. And a food flask. Oh, dear. Please come to Devon and Cornwall. It will be a laugh. I'm absolutely going to do it, Joe. And I thought about doing it for my birthday on the 15th. And I decided I probably won't. Only because there's a lot of people I want to catch up with down there. And it would make sense to do it when the days are a bit longer. So I want to go to Oddicombe as well. And Oddicombe Beach. I'd love to go down on the Peninsula. So sometime in spring, March, or the first Monday in March or the first Monday of April, I will go down to Devon, and it won't be the last visit either. From your car dealer days, says Mark. It was a large site, the dealership, says Cheeseburger. It was massive. 400 cars at our height. That's a big pitch. From your car dealer days, ever had a Christmas 4:30 a.m. early morning call before? Not exactly that. We were robbed in the middle of the night, and I can't remember what time it is. Somebody tried to shoot me. I can't remember what time that was. It wasn't 4:30 because it was in the showroom. I'd love to know if anybody goes by my old showrooms. I'll do it myself one day. Please go and have a look at the main showroom, and have a look. If you're looking at the front, the main showroom, have a look at the left-hand window and tell me if the bullet hole is still in there from when somebody tried to shoot me to death. Seriously, there's a bullet hole in the window where somebody took a shot at me. The only time I've ever been shot at. Other than that, I've been covered in petrol and had a match held and various other things. See, these are all the things I need to tell you about. But not tonight, because it's 24 minutes past midnight. Video title, Boaty is spoiling for a fight. Oh, hello, everything, cars. Oh, thank you, Cheeseburger. No, it wasn't, Joe. No, it wasn't. Oh, there are so many stories about that I need to tell you. Darlings, I've skipped over a couple of comments because it's 24 minutes past midnight. I need to let you lovely people go. There are still 33 of you watching, and I'm so grateful. Thank you for tonight. Thank you for the week so far. Oh, well done, sir. 300 subs. That's fantastic. Well done, you. So, yeah, thank you so much. And thank you for all of your contributions in the WhatsApp thing. Thank you for your PMs. Joe, I love this. Thank you so much. Thank you, Neil, for your incredibly kind channel membership gifts. And thank you to, well, I can't do an end of week thank you thing because there's still some of the week to go. So it's Thursday night. That's it. I'm going to leave you in peace. You'll hear nothing from me tomorrow or Saturday. Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, right. Yeah. So Friday, Saturday, have a Boaty free time. But then on Sunday, there's going to be a New Year's Eve live. And if you would like to pop in to say Happy New Year, then please do so. It would be fabulous to see you. I'm not sure on the times. It'll probably be, oh God, Sunday night, New Year's Eve, probably going to be busy. I'll start the live when I get home from work. I'll aim for 11 o'clock. Don't be surprised if it's a little bit late. And we'll go on until, after midnight. We'll see the new year in midnight, something like that. And there we go. There we go. Oh, I don't want to know about Donna Dune. So thank you to everybody again. Thank you so much for tonight. It's been a scream. I've loved it. I've got no idea what the title is going to be for this one. Oh, Trace. I could do that, actually. Trace says, can you not just start the live before you leave for work and then officially start it when you get in? Yeah, I'd be happy enough to do that if you guys are okay with that. Love to John, says Cheeseburger. Absolutely seconded. And love to you all, actually. Love to you all. It's a joyful time of year. It can also be a really difficult time of year. And if any of you have struggled or are struggling, then my heart goes out to you. And then, yeah, you can dip in and out all evening. Okay, Trace, I'm happy enough to do that. Yeah, not a bad show. And on that note, I'm knackered. I'm going to go and get some supper. And I will see you all on New Year's Eve then, before I go to work. That's it. We have a plan. Have yourselves a safe and peaceful night. Thank you again to you all. Much love to all of you. And have a fabulous weekend. And I will see you at the very end of 2023. And bring on 2024. With you guys, it's going to be fabulous. Good night. Much love.